My beloved child, stop for a moment. Do not rush past this. Do not treat this like just another video. What I am about to show you is not ordinary. Why do you think you survived what was meant to silence you? Why did the pressure increase right when your spirit was already tired? Why did the enemy fight you so hard, if there was nothing valuable inside you? And why did even I, when I looked at your heart last season, feel moved in a way that left heaven still? Yes, you heard that correctly. You left even me speechless. Not because you were perfect. Not because you never struggled. Not because your path was easy. You left me speechless because of what was found in you. While you were trying to make it through each day, while you were holding tears behind closed doors, while you were smiling for others and surviving in private, heaven was watching your heart. Not your appearance. Not your platform. Not your performance. Your heart. And what was found there was rare. The enemy tried to crush you because he saw something in you before you even recognized it yourself. He saw endurance. He saw loyalty. He saw humility. He saw a faith that flickered, but did not disappear. He saw a heart that could be wounded, but not fully corrupted. That is why the pressure came. That is why the silence came. That is why the betrayal felt personal. That is why the delay lasted longer than you thought you could endure. It was never random. He was not just trying to hurt you. He was trying to stop what was being formed in you. But here is what he did not understand. When the pressure came, you did not become bitter all the way. When the disappointment came, you did not become cold all the way. When the loneliness came, you did not abandon me all the way. When the waiting got unbearable, something in you still kept reaching for me. You may have been weak in moments, but you were never empty. You may have doubted in moments, but you were never disconnected. You may have cried in the dark, but you still whispered my name. And that mattered. It mattered every time you chose restraint instead of rage. It mattered every time you chose honesty instead of pretending. It mattered every time you kept going when it would have been easier to shut down. It mattered every time you refused to become what hurt you. My child, that kind of strength is not loud. It does not clap for itself. It does not advertise itself. But heaven sees it. The world looks for visible success. I look for hidden faithfulness. People notice applause. I notice endurance. And what I found in you was not perfection, but something better. I found a heart that still wanted truth. I found a spirit that still came back after disappointment. I found a soul that could be corrected without collapsing. I found compassion where others would have grown hard. I found humility where pride could have easily taken root. That is why I say it again, you are rare. Not common. Not ordinary. Not disposable. Rare. And I need you to understand why this truth matters now. Because what I found in you this past season changes the way your next season must be lived. You cannot move forward still thinking of yourself as the one who almost made it. You cannot carry what is coming while calling yourself small. You cannot receive the weight of your calling while continuing to agree with every lie that said you were behind, forgotten, or too broken. That time is over. The hidden season was not wasted. It was not punishment. It was not proof that I had left you. It was preparation. I was building something in secret that could not be rushed in public. I was teaching your heart how to hold revelation without pride. I was teaching your spirit how to stay soft without becoming weak. I was teaching your mind how to stand still long enough to receive truth without twisting it. Because some truths are too heavy for an unprepared heart. If I had told you too soon, you might have tried to perform it instead of becoming it. If I had revealed too early what was inside you, pride could have tried to dress itself as confidence. If I had shown you everything before your roots were deep enough, fear could have made you run from your own calling. So I waited. Not because I was absent, because I was wise. Not because you were unwanted, because you were being formed. Not because I forgot you, because I was protecting you. And now the time has come to say it plainly. What I placed inside you cannot be erased by hardship. What I wrote in your spirit cannot be deleted by delay. What I planted in you cannot be removed by betrayal, comparison, or shame. You are not what happened to you. You are what survived it. You are not the worst moment. You are not the failure. You are not the label. You are not the lie told over your life when you were too tired to defend yourself. You are mine. And you are more spiritually mature than you gave yourself credit for. There is something powerful about how you kept going while feeling unseen. There is something holy about how you kept loving while feeling hurt. There is something uncommon about how you kept trying while feeling delayed. That did not happen by accident. The enemy noticed it too. He noticed that when pain came, you did not fully disconnect. He noticed that when your prayers felt weak, you still prayed. He noticed that when answers were delayed, you still hoped. He noticed that when people disappointed you, you still did not stop reaching for me. That is what scared him. Not your noise. Not your image. Your heart. Because a heart like yours, when it finally understands who it is, becomes difficult to manipulate. That is why he tried to confuse you. That is why comparison got louder. That is why shame kept returning. That is why you felt behind while everyone else looked ahead. He wanted you to measure yourself by someone else's timeline. He wanted you to think that because your growth was quiet, it was not real. He wanted you to confuse hidden progress with no progress at all. But roots grow in silence. A tree does not become strong because people clap for it. It becomes strong because it survives seasons no one sees. And that is what has been happening in you. Your roots got deeper when the ground felt dry. Your faith got stronger when comfort disappeared. Your discernment sharpened when you could no longer trust appearances. Your humility deepened when life kept reminding you that you needed me. So do not call yourself weak anymore. Do not say, I am behind. Do not say, I am forgotten. Do not say, I am not enough. Do not say, I am too damaged to carry what God wants to give me. That is not your language anymore. Speak from what heaven found in you. Say, I survived. Say, I am still here. Say, I am being formed. Say, I am not ordinary. Say, my heart was tested and it remained open. Say, God found something rare in me. And if that truth touches you, comment amen right now. Not as a habit, as agreement, as a seal, as a declaration that you receive what heaven says about you. Because some of you have been living under other people's definitions for too long. They called you emotional, and you believed it meant unstable. They called you sensitive, and you believed it meant weak. They called you quiet, and you thought it meant hidden. They called you delayed, and you thought it meant rejected. But I call you deep. I call you discerning. I call you steady. I call you chosen. And yes, the enemy knew this before you did. That is why the attacks felt targeted. That is why the pressure felt personal. That is why the heaviness kept coming back to the same places in your mind. He wanted to make you forget what was inside you before you ever had the chance to fully see it. But he failed. Because what I put in you cannot be taken away. Not by failure. Not by shame. Not by delay. Not by comparison. Not by accusation. Not by spiritual warfare. It may be buried for a season, but it is not gone. It may be quiet for a season, but it is not dead. It may be hidden for a season, but it is not lost. And now I am revealing it to you so you can walk differently. No more shrinking. No more apologizing for being spiritually alive. No more trying to make your spirit smaller so that shallow people can feel comfortable around you. You were not made to live numb. You were made to live awake. You were not made to merely survive. You were made to carry revelation, compassion, wisdom, and strength. And because of that, your next season will require a different posture. Not pride, peace. Not striving, trust. Not panic, alignment. Not performance, obedience. Stop looking at yourself through the lens of what hurt you. Start looking at yourself through the lens of what I found in you. Because I found a heart that would not fully quit. I found a spirit that kept returning to truth. I found a soul that could be broken, but not destroyed. I found a person who felt deeply and still chose me. That is rare. That is valuable. That is why I kept you. That is why I carried you. That is why I waited. Now I need you to do something with this truth. Do not just feel it. Do not just hear it. Do not just cry over it and then return to the old script about yourself. Let it change how you speak. When the old voice says, "You are weak," answer, "No. Heaven found strength in me." When the old voice says, "You are behind," answer, "No. I was being prepared." When the old voice says, "You are forgotten," answer, "No. I was being watched in love." When the old voice says, "You are not enough," answer, "No. God already saw what was in me." This is your turning point. Not because everything changed outside of you, but because the truth has now been spoken over you. And once truth is spoken, you cannot keep pretending you do not know. You now know why the battle was so intense. You now know why the silence was so long. You now know why the hidden season mattered. You now know that what was found in you was not weakness, but spiritual weight. So rise with that. Walk with that. Pray with that. Parent your future with that. And if you needed one last confirmation, here it is. You were never just surviving. You were being formed into someone who can carry what is next. That is why you were tested. That is why you were stretched. That is why you were delayed. That is why you were kept hidden until your roots could hold the weight. Now the curtain has been pulled back. Now the truth has been revealed. Now you understand why heaven was silent when you thought nothing was happening. Something was happening. Something was growing. Something rare was being made in you. And it is time to live like it. If this word found you, do not let it pass. Share it with someone who feels forgotten. Let them know they are not invisible. Let them know heaven sees the hidden heart. Let them know the pain did not erase the promise. And before you go, type "I survived" in the comments if you are ready to stand in agreement with the truth. Not because you boast, but because you made it. Not because you are perfect, but because you endured. Not because the road was easy, but because what I put in you could not be taken away. My beloved child, I saw it. Heaven saw it. And now you see it too. You are rare. You are ready. And your next season will show what was always there.